Steve, aka Mr. SuperDude Wonderful, asked the question and he said, how are the police on Saipan? Are they over aggressive like in our mainland cities? Or are they polite and helpful like Mayberry? Are the people very Christian, structured, or uptight like American Samoa? Or are girls allowed to wear swimsuits around town? What do most people do all day? Are there special rules to buy property? How long does a tour of the island take without stopping too long? All right, I appreciate all you do. Okay, let's tackle these one at a time. How are the police on Saipan? My experience with the police, the few times I've interacted with them, has always been pleasant, very friendly. One of the first things that I noticed here is that the police are not operating in the same way that they did, say, in New York. And I know in New York they have them and the parking meter attendants have quotas to fill, so they have to give out a certain number of tickets in order to keep the economy of New York going. So the police here are not don't seem to be operating on a quota system. So if I've gotten pulled over for running a red light and I got a warning, very nice guy, very friendly officer. I remember one of the first times I was walking along the boardwalk on Beach Road. There was a group of police officers standing in the walkway, and I was coming by, and they all stepped out of the way and said, excuse me, sorry, sir, and stepped out of the way. Very polite. So just regular people who have the same manners as they would as regular citizens practicing the Pacific Island culture of friendliness, and they just happen to be in uniform. Now, that's my experience. Now, it could be different for other people. I've never done a ride around with the cops here, which might be an interesting thing to do for the YouTube channel. But I've never done a ride around, so I haven't seen them interacting with individuals who might be engaged in nefarious activities or other types of behavior. So, but for the most part, I also told a story once about an officer at the airport who didn't give me a ticket because, for parking in the reserved space because I was so nice to him. So my experience has been nothing but positive here on the island. So that's my experience. That's number one. Number two, are they polite and helpful like Mayberry? I guess I would liken it more to Mayberry. And for those of you who are not familiar, Mayberry is the town in which the Andy Griffith show, you can look that up on YouTube, was based. All right. Are the people very Christian? Yes, very Christian, definitely. The majority population is Christian. We have the Chamorro population that was influenced by Spanish culture for close to 200 years. So the Catholicism is prevalent in that community. And also many of the contract workers are Filipino, and they also have a Spanish background, so Catholicism there as well. So yes, very Catholic on the island as well. Are the people, let's see, or are they uptight like American Samoa, or are girls allowed to wear swimsuits around town? Interesting. I would suggest to you that the lifestyle here on Saipan is more of a conservative lifestyle. Conservative, apart from political orientation and leanings, but conservative in the sense that it's not an anything goes community that as it might be in the States, where people pride themselves on how far they can push the bar. Here, people tend to dress moderately, but keep in mind as well that it is also a tourist town. But even the tourists are not getting out of hand. I mean, if they do go on the beach and in bikinis, then they'll cover up when they're off the beach and walking around. So it's generally a conservative culture. People are friendly. People say good morning, have a nice day. And in general, it's conservative. I've never lived on or visited American Samoa, so I can't really speak about that. But I get the sense, based on some of the words you use, structured or uptight like American Samoa. So that it implies to me that you think that the culture there is a little restrictive to you otherwise being as free willed and as free minded as you might like to. I'm assuming here, but that's what I get from your use of the word uptight. But I think things are a little more easygoing here, a little more accepting. But at the same time, there are certain rules that people follow. Generally, I would say it's a rule following culture. One of the things that um, the conversation I often have with my tour clients is I ask them whether they tend to be rule followers or rule breakers. And for the most part, the people here, I think, tend to be rule followers. I was driving through Chalankanoa a few days ago, and I might have been driving a little bit too faster than people might have liked, and someone screamed out from their porch, slow down. So there's a certain behavior, a certain way of behaving and comporting yourself that people follow, but it's not in a restrictive way. It's just normal human decency that I found to be the prime directive here. That's my my take on it. Okay, I did mention the property. I won't go into the buying of property here. There is a dedicated video that I did on the issue of non-locals, people of people who are not of Northern Marianas descent purchasing property. If you are not of Northern Marianas descent, then you cannot actually purchase property. You can lease it for 55 years. But I go into full detail about that and the article in the Constitution that covers that, and you'll get more information on purchasing property. All right. How long does a tour of the island take without stopping too long anywhere? So I do tours of the island. I do tours of Saipan and tours of Tinian. And typically my tour starts at 9 in the morning and covers the entire island and finishes by about 3:30 or 4 o'clock. And we stop not very long at each location. If we didn't get out of the car, you could probably wrap it up in by 2 o'clock. But typically I go to a site, describe what's the significance, historic or cultural significance of that site, and then we move to the next, and we might park and get out, walk around. So that is a full day tour, and that takes about 7 hours completely. But just driving around the roads, you could probably do it all in three hours without stopping, 4 hours without stopping too long. That's my opinion. If you'd like more information on that and even see the route that I take for my tours on both Saipan and Tinian, you can go to discoversaipan.com and request that.